Hey guys, what's up? It's 8-Bit Eric. Today we're going to look at a sports game that has a unique twist. This one actually looks like it might have been inspired a little bit by another classic 16-bit gem, Earthbound. This is Golf Story, a sports game RPG that is not like anything else I've played. It is now out on the Nintendo Switch in the eShop. Let's go ahead and take a look at what Golf Story can offer for somebody that's playing something like this for the first time, and I'll let you know if I recommend it. So Golf Story, as I mentioned, is a unique blend of an RPG game and a sports game, most notably golf. Now, golf has been a big thing in the news with the Nintendo Switch, with Vlog being released secretly in the Nintendo Switch's UI system, whatever you want to call it. But we got Golf Story in the meantime to play. Golf Story is not like anything I've played before. At first impressions, I'm like, wow, this looks a lot like Earthbound. The presentation's there. Everything about this game just screams nostalgia for me. It's like I'm living in the late 90s again, as a kid, drinking my juice box right after school before I watched some Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. This is such a terrific looking game, and aesthetics aside, the soundtrack is just as great. It has jazzy little music that just makes you feel good inside. Now, the premise of Golf Story is simple. There's a young man who, long time ago, he learned how to play golf with his dad on a golf course, and for whatever reason, he decided to not pursue his dream of being a golfer. 20 years later, life's kind of looking down in the dumps for him. He decides to go back to where he started it all. He's going to go and finish what him and his dad started at the well-worn golf course, which is in shambles 20 years later. There's a lot of things going on. There's a kind of sneaky, sleazy type of guy that owns the club. Eventually, you make your way through the ranks, you get a coach, and you go and travel all of the world of Golf Story. So, simple premise. You're going back in the golfing scene after being gone for a long time. Easy enough, right? Now, the main characteristics of this game is the humor in it. This is not a game to be taken seriously. As a matter of fact, it feels a lot like Paper Mario, and just the way that the characters act. There's no voice acting, but the text has such personality in it. Depending on if the characters are yelling or screaming, you'll feel the controller actually shake with the HD rumble. You'll see the font get big and shaky. It really reminded me of how some of the characters act in Paper Mario and Earthbound. There's a lot of tongue-in-cheek humor, a lot of cheesy golf jokes shown and thrown around in here. Weird-looking creatures and NPCs everywhere. And the names of a lot of the golf courses are pretty silly as well. It's a lot of a silly, charming game, in my opinion, and I love it. Presentation, as I said, is there. The 16-bit retro aesthetic, perfect. Harkens back to some of those games like Earthbound, like I said, and it was nothing like I haven't played before, and I was impressed upon initial impression. This also plays a lot like Mario Golf that came out like on the Game Boy Advance quite a while back. It has a lot of RPG elements. There's a lot of side quests. There's about 8 worlds. Each one has a lot of secrets for you to explore. You go up to an NPC that has a dialogue bubble above them. They'll have you do some kind of side quest, which is usually either making a goal in a certain marked target on the map, or even something as silly as bouncing your balls off of a turtle's back, which that doesn't sound right, to feeding alligators, to feeding fish, to doing sorts of errands on there, all sorts of wackiness besides just playing a straight game of golf, which I really enjoyed that. A plain Jane, straight shooting golf game probably wouldn't have been my cup of tea, but the way that Golf Story kind of diversified it and made it a little bit more different and incorporated an RPG definitely caught my attention. Now, the RPG elements are not as heavy as a traditional RPG game. There is experience points that are gained when you do complete all these various side quests, activities in each course, but the game is actually rather linear, which I wish it would have been a little bit more open-ended. There is a tiny bit of exploration, as I said, but not that much. You really have to go from point A to point B quite often. When you gain these experience points, you can use it to adjust your power and some of your other stats, but anytime you increase your power, your other stats go down. So there's like a balancing that you got to do in order to keep your character the way you want. Other than that, there's no turn-based battles, nothing like that. It's doing side quests and completing the quest, the main quest line, by doing the golf courses, gaining points, buying new items, and that's about it. So it's not as RPG heavy as I would have liked, but it's still a neat little variation on both genres of sports and RPGs. I mean, it's a really good game. Now, the controls of this game are simple. If you've played a basic NES golf game, like NES Golf, if you've played this before, it's a 3, button push setup. You push once to aim, push again to have your precision shot or your power, and then you push one more time to actually swing. So it's like button press, button press, button press. You get the timing on the gauge down below. You do that. That's the basic golf swing. But there's also a precision mode that allows you to actually kind of aim the landing of your shot a little bit better. You hold the Y button and then you can aim where you want your ball to land more or less. Depending on where you hit on the gauge is how accurate it's going to be. There's also a hit point mode where you can actually pick where you're going to hit on the ball. So I guess diversity as far as more than just having it as a basic golf game. There's also trick shots and stuff like that. And you're also able to actually tee off anywhere on the map, which this is used to help find secrets. For example, on the first world, there's actually hidden switches throughout the level, and when you open them, you unlock a secret golf course. So always look around, tee off, hit stuff. You never know what you're going to find. There's a lot of exploration elements. The main core of the story has you progressing through 9 holes at each world. The worlds range from a basic, nice little comfy golf course to one in the desert with like prehistoric dinosaurs and tar pits. There's even a haunted Halloween type of theme, and a mountain one with little cheeky birds and stuff like that. So there's a good variety of content here. Each level has its unique charm and crazy hazards. There's stuff like mole men that are actually on the golf course itself. If it lands anywhere near them, they will literally take the ball and put it in their lair. It's very cute. It's like, this is not like anything I've seen before outside of any of the Mario Golf games. It's pretty unique, in my opinion. I love it. It's so much personality inside of a neat little concept. Good variety of level design, so it's a very nice looking game. The game overall is about 18 to 20 hours, depending on how much you do. There's a lot to see, as I mentioned, lots of exploration. There's even a quick play mode where you can play all the courses that you unlocked with all the clubs that you unlocked. And the beauty of this is that there's a local couch co-op mode that you can play in quick play mode. It's for only 2 players, which that, I guess, kind of is limiting. It would have been nice to have more than 2 people play a round of mini golf, but it's cool that they threw that in there. A local couch co-op for anything, anytime, any place, anywhere is perfect, especially with the Nintendo Switch. This game ran beautifully in portable mode. I played this on a road trip recently, and I had a blast. I was captivated by just overall the presentation of the game and how easy it played. There's no replacing a Pro controller, but the Joy-Cons worked great. The game performed well on tablet mode. There was no slowdown, no frame rate issues, no loss of quality. I'm actually impressed. For an independent title, this is a game that is truly a classic on the Nintendo Switch, and I can highly recommend it. It's well worth the price for the amount of variety and content, and if it's more than a sports game, in my opinion. It's a fun playthrough experience, captures a lot of charm, a lot of emotion, and it just has a lovable cast and crew. Even the NPCs, everything about it, so quirky that I just wanted to keep playing it forever. So I can highly recommend Golf Story for you guys to check out on the Nintendo Switch. And well, guys, that is it for today's video. Thanks a lot for watching. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe and comment below. I'll see you next time. See ya.